With relations between Russia and the NATO countries rapidly deteriorating, many analysts have referred to this conflict as the Second Cold War. However, a significant number of factors are different between the 20th century conflict and this one. So what is the Second Cold War? Well, the original Cold War was an indirectly confrontational standoff from 1945 to 1991. It was between the Western Bloc, made up of the United States and NATO, against the Eastern Bloc, which was the Soviet Union and satellite states. The split was largely based on ideological differences, pitting the capitalist West with the communist East. The Cold War was considered cold as neither side took part in regional warfare. However, fighting did take place in the form of proxy wars in Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan, which both sides supported financially and militarily. The Cold War ended with the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Today's Cold War 2.0 is largely the result of Russian opposition to NATO expansion following the collapse of the Soviet Union. In recent years, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has promoted conservative policy and anti-Western ideology known as Putinism. Within this view is the concept that the countries which gained independence after the Soviet Union ended should still be within Russia's sphere of influence. In 2005, Putin referred to the residents of the former Soviet Union as Russians who've been left outside of the Russian border. His actions have been widely interpreted as attempts to restore the old Soviet Union under a new Russian Federation. In February of 2014, Putin allegedly invaded Ukraine and annexed the city of Crimea while denying any Russian involvement in the military operation. In response, Russia was ejected from the G8, making it the G7. Additionally, the EU enacted broad sanctions against Russia. But besides bringing down the value of the ruble, the sanctions have had little political influence. Following the annexation, NATO began a military buildup near the Russian border. Putin responded by violating international law again and preparing more than 1,500 nuclear weapons for deployment. In April of 2015, it leaked that Russia was prepared to respond to non-nuclear events with nuclear weapons. This created dangerous uncertainty within the international community, reminiscent of the original Cold War. In other ex-Soviet countries like Georgia, Moldova, and the Baltic states, tensions have been strained between pro- and anti-Putin groups. Some speculate that Russia plans to continue invading and annexing those former countries. As a result of Russia's government controlling domestic media sources, their reporting has been recently referred to as information manipulation and mass hallucinations with no basis in reality. The East versus West standoff has dangerous implications for the rest of the world, especially as nuclear weapons come into play. The last Cold War lasted nearly half a century, and many are hoping that this second round is quickly resolved before it turns from cold to scorching. If you're interested in diving deeper into the incredibly complicated politics of Eastern Europe, make sure you check out our video here about some times that Russia has recently crossed into foreign territory. Also in April, an unarmed Russian jet made a dozen passes over the USS Donald Cook, an American warship stationed in the Black Sea. Then, in August and September, Russian warships threatened a Finnish research vessel, and Russian jets entered Swedish airspace without permission. Thank you for watching TestTube. Please subscribe for more videos.